Hello, welcome to Chapter 4, Section 3. I'm doing the guided practice problems on page 249. The PDF just for Chapter 4, that's on page 24. And I'm going to do problems 5 and 6. More practice with independent and dependent variables. Please be aware that these problems are only asking you to identify the independent and dependent variables. They're not asking you to come up with an equation, so make sure that you read the directions for that. That will be the next examples in the next video. All right, problem number 5. A small size bottle of water costs $1.99 and a large size bottle of water costs $3.49. First of all, in your answer, do not include either of these numbers. These are constants, at least in context of the problem, and they are not variables. Remember, constants are not variables. The independent and dependent variables are things that you are going to measure, and you're going to describe them with words. So we're going to use words, all right? In this problem, there are two things that are being measured. So we've got a small size bottle of water and a large size bottle of water. So one of the things that's going to be measured is going to be the size of the bottle of water. And please do not make this harder than it needs to be. You don't have to answer questions in this that are not being asked. We're not going to concern ourselves with like the cost per ounce. We're not going to concern ourselves with, well, which one's a better bargain. We're not going to concern ourselves with any of the extra stuff that I'm sure that you're expecting. This problem is simply asking, what's the independent variable? What's the dependent variable? What are the two things that are measured? And which one causes the other one to change? Or another way of saying it, which one depends on the first one? Okay, so one of the variables is the size of the bottle of water. Okay, whether it's in ounces, gallons, whatever, it's bottles of water, so it's probably ounces. Could be in milliliters if we were anywhere but the United States. But that's a measurement. That's a measurement of size. Okay. Actually, in this case, volume. I use the word size because that's in the problem. The other measurement we have here is cost. And it seems like the cost depends on which water bottle, which size you're going to get. So if you go into like, Super America and you're like, hey, I'm going to grab this, then you pay for the bottle that you have. The clerk is going to tell you how much you owe based upon what size water bottle you put on the counter. All right. Now there is a little bit about like, well, maybe you only have so much money. Maybe you only got a couple bucks. You don't have $3.49. You didn't have that in your pocket. But that's assuming that, that's a situation where we're making the problem harder than you need to be. We're not trying to imagine situations that aren't in this in the problem as it is. Okay. And also remember, cost or total cost in certain situations usually is always the dependent variable. So this is going to be the independent variable, and this is going to be the dependent variable. And it makes sense that how much you pay depends on what size water you're going to get, right? Number 6, an employee receives 2 vacation days for every month worked. Now, I use the word measurement a lot, but measurement is just a fancy way of saying counting, okay? Even if you're going to measure someone's height, you're just counting whatever you're using, inches or centimeters, to figure out how tall a person is. If you're measuring like an animal's weight, you're counting the number of pounds, or of mass, you talk about grams, then it's just a quick way of counting. Like if I show you, like, there's a real fancy steel ruler. If I show you this ruler just allows me to count quickly. All right. So if there were no numbers on here, and if I measured something that was like, like this piece of paper, I don't know if you can see it. This piece of paper is 11 inches. Then without the numbers here, I would have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The ruler just does the counting for me, but the thing is you're still counting. Measurement is just a counting. In this case, what am I counting or measuring? So I have, it says for every month work, I have the number of months that the employee has worked at that business or store, whatever it is. And I also have the number of vacation days that the employee can accrue. So if you work for 1 month, you get 2 vacation days. That's actually a pretty sweet deal, to be honest. If you work for 12 months, you're going to get 24 vacation days, which this is like the world's greatest company. That's amazing. So anyway, first you need to know how long the employee has worked. Then you can calculate how many vacation days that employee gets. So the number of vacation days depends on how many months the employee has worked. That makes this the independent variable. Okay, and remember, just like this problem, we said don't make it too hard. This problem, don't make it too hard. No one's asking for like how, like, to calculate anything. That'll be in the next video. So we'll see you there.